Welcome back, Jacket Nation, to another episode of Inside the Hive. Joining me today is head swim coach Athena Miller. Thank you for joining me today, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so I'm really excited to hear you guys went down on a training trip down to Florida. Tell me all about that.
Well, we came back to campus December 27th, trained a few days here, and then we actually left New Year's Eve, headed down to, we flew into Orlando, then drove down to Sarasota, had a swim practice, and then we headed straight to the beach. We had New Year's on the beach, which was pretty neat and unique for those people in Ohio. It's a lot warmer. Had a nice sparkling grape juice toast and some cheesecake and just kind of hung out on Siesta Key. So it was a fun New Year's experience that a lot of kids don't get to have, and we get to have it for the next 4 years, so that's awesome. And then our normal training day in Florida would consist of every day at noon we would have a dryland practice. And for those of you that aren't in the swimming world, that means everything that we're doing that isn't in the water. So the weight training, we would do some cardiovascular running, any kind of core body work that isn't in the water swimming. Then from 1 to 3 we would swim. We would have the Coast Guard training on one side, and then we had Illinois Wesleyan training on the other, which was kind of cool to see teams that were much larger, working just as hard as we were, so the kids knew that they weren't alone in this world of swimming and working hard. Then after that practice, we would usually head to the beach and kind of hang out at the beach, or we would go shopping, or kind of see some stuff that's around this Sarasota Siesta Key area. Then after that, we would have night practice from 7 to 9, and then usually after that, the kids were pretty tired, so we would just head back to the hotel and go to bed and wake up and do it all over again. So we had a good time. The biggest adventure was probably traveling home to the snowstorm. Okay. As we all know here, we were under a lot of snow, under a lot of warnings and things, so it was an adventure to get back. And so we had some really interesting patience testing during that. But we made it back safe, and we had a good time, and we're looking forward to doing it again next year.
Good. That's great to hear, and that's exciting for the swim team. I mean, getting to travel that far is just great, and a lot of team bonding, I bet, especially with the extra days. So the team has grown, and this is your second year as head coach. What has changed over the couple years that you have been here?
The biggest challenge, which is the same challenge that any starting program has, is getting kids to be attracted to a current small team. Right. And a young team at that. We have mostly freshmen and sophomores with 2 juniors, 3 juniors, so it's just getting other people to see that we're starting to grow, we're starting to come in, and so this incoming freshman class that we have right now has been a really strong asset because everybody's stuck through it, everybody's working so hard, and that is showing everybody else in our recruits that, hey, this is a fun team, we're going to have a good time, and they're willing to put in that patience for the growth factor.
Oh, yeah, and the freshmen have been doing a phenomenal job along with the other teammates. Have there been any surprises or anybody that has just, surprised you this season?
In one way or another, truthfully, everybody has surprised me. With swimming, just like track and field, there are a lot of different events, so there are a lot of different opportunities to really excel in something. And we've definitely had some people really step up and fill some spaces that we've needed to, fill. We have, because we are on the small end, we are missing, some people that are really excelling in other events, so we have to fill those needs with what we have. And everybody's done a really great job to step up and fill those needs while we wait for people to come in and fill it.
Well, it sounds like you have a great team, and I know you're looking forward to the future. What are your goals? I mean, you have a month left. What are the goals for the rest of the season?
Our biggest goal is to enter the conference meet, which is at Akron University every year. And as swimming goes, the swimming program works at like a peaking level. So our winter training trip in Florida is the peak of our mountain. So now we're at the easy part. Now we're going down the hill. Yep. Training is still hard, but the quantity is not as high. Right. So we're at the fun part of the season. So that's kind of really giving a lot of energy. Oh, yeah. Kids are able to swim a lot faster doing that. So we're basically, our biggest goal is to go into OACs and know that although we're the smallest team there, we want to make a big impact and make sure that next year those teams are really starting to look out for us and say, Defiance has a team and they're growing, and we need to start taking them a little bit more seriously.
Oh, yeah, and that's really exciting. And I know a lot of people don't know, but you guys do swim part of the OAC, correct?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, because I bet it's far more competitive, and the HCAC doesn't quite have a swim program yet. So how is it swimming with the OAC?
It's a lot of fun. It's challenging because our closest contest is a 3-hour drive, so that can be hard. Transylvania has also joined us in the OAC, so it's nice. So we do have some HCAC action there with us, so that kind of gives us a unique bond there. It's nice for me because I'm originally from the OAC already, so the transition for myself was very easy and very unique because I already knew all of the coaches already knew me, so that relationship was already there. A lot of these programs are established and have been established since the 80s, so they have a lot more background, they have a lot more depth, they have a lot more experience, and so that's something that we're actively competing with. And as we start to grow, that gap will start to close, and it'll be a lot nicer.
I'm really looking forward to you guys continuing to grow, continuing to do well. And I want all of you to come out on January 31st. They're hosting a swim meet at the Y, and they really look forward to all of you coming out. It's one of the only athletic events on that day. So be sure to come out on January 31st. For more information, go to www.defianceathletics.com.